What's going on, YouTube? Today we're gonna do a few upgrades to the old Corolla. I got a fresh Toda Lightweight flywheel, 6-pack clutch, new slave cylinder, a fresh rebuilt T50, synchros, bearings, all that good junk, and a newly balanced and retrofitted GTS drive shaft. Has an updated U-joint from another model Toyota. Had a machine shop. Cut, balance, you know, do all that stuff so it can be serviceable. So let's put this thing in. All right, well, before we start, I'm going to explain what was going on here. I had this eBay flywheel. It is a lightweight chromoly flywheel with some ARP bolts, and I had some, you know, relatively good performance out of it, but I was constantly chasing a low pedal feeling. And I had a new slave, a new master, new clutch disc, pilot bearing. I had the whole shebang put in it several times, and I was just never happy with the clutch release feeling. And after some tuning, after switching to the Haltech and completely walloping the inside of that T50, I've just decided to kind of stop going the cheat route with the flywheel and put an actual flywheel, that Toda flywheel that I just showed you. That Toda flywheel is 8 pounds as opposed to this eBay 10 pound. So let's get this swapped out and see how it feels. Alright, so we got the old one out. This one, from my understanding, although it's eBay, is the Exedi off-brand. Like I said before, never really had any issues with the flywheel, just constantly chasing that poor clutch pedal engagement. As you can see, it is a little bit of surface rust because it's been outside for a while, but you can see those hot spots. If I'm in this car, I'm in it to win it, so I'm not nice to my clutches. The new one obviously looks much nicer. It's a much higher quality part. It is probably quadruple the price. I think this one was $70. I think this one was well over $350, if memory serves. And this one comes with its own hardware. I don't know how I feel about getting the ARP bolts out of there and using this hardware, because this does look much smaller, but Toda is a very popular name, and I gotta go with what they say. I gotta trust them. Visual differences, not really much to talk about. They look very similar. There is, however, a small height difference. Probably can't really see it in the video on my lumpy driveway with my lumpy box. But actually this one, the Toda one, is slightly taller, so I'm hoping that will help. There are some instructions here. Boing don't hate don't prune candy. They're useless, no idea what that says. But let's go ahead and put this thing in. Alright, I've got the new flywheel in. I do want to take a brief second to point out that I was not paying attention earlier. Those few bolts and hardwares that I showed you here, that's for the clutch cover, not for the flywheel. So I still get to use my ARP bolts, which should make me happy. Alright, let's see if a new flywheel, new clutch, fresh transmission, and a nice freshened drive shaft make this old Corolla feel new again. I do want to mention that I did reinstall the T3 short shifter. The factory shifter, you know, as imagined, is pretty beat. The bushings were pretty much gone. This one is 55% shorter throw than stock, and even 35 or maybe 33% shorter throw than the TRD one. I've left the boot off because I keep taking this transmission in and out 50 times, and I'm just trying to get it right. So pardon any weird noises. Let's see how it feels. Wow. 30-year-old transmission. I can actually get it in all the gears without forcing it. How about that? So I just finished taking it for its drive after all the upgrades and rebuilds were done, and I realized that I guess the point of this video was just to suggest that there is some things that you can do to bring some love back to your old 86 and really bring back the thrill of driving and take away that, you know, 35 to 30-ish range-year-old car sloppy crap that you have to deal with when you drive a car this old. And I can tell you, if you've gone through any kind of clutch struggles like I have, don't be cheap. Don't buy the eBay flywheel. Don't buy the Rock Auto $14 clutch disc. Just don't do it. I put a lot more money into the drivetrain this time, and I can tell you this car drives like a brand new 86. It really does. I know that sounds ridiculous, but the shifting, it feels so crisp, so straightforward. There's no BS. That new clutch disc seemed to mate to that flywheel very, very quickly. The clutch pedal feels great. The engagement feels smooth. The drive line is unbelievably smooth. There's no more phantom vibrations from an ancient drive shaft. It really put the car together nicely. I will say, however, this shifter, and I also have, I think it's a Cusco transmission mount, do increase the NVH quite a bit. There's a lot of road noise. You can hear the clutch chatter just from the springs at idle, especially when it's hot. It doesn't bother me because this isn't a daily driver, but if you do have more of a daily driver type, not race car gutted out type of 86, you may consider maybe leaving the factory shifter or going to the TRD one. It does get hot, it does vibrate, and like I said, you can hear a lot of the inside transmission noises just because it's so firmly mounted, but it feels amazing. If you guys have any questions about any of the things I've done to the drivetrain of this car to make these improvements, feel free to comment. I'll be happy to answer them. But don't bail out on your 86 drivetrain. Put some money into it. It will thank you, and you'll love it all over again. Thanks for watching.